Neil Karlinski reporting tonight from the Malibu area. Thank you. Well, Southern California is in the midst of its driest year on record. The amount of rainfall this year has been 1/5 the average annual amount. So that set the stage for these fires. Then add the high winds and a spark, and suddenly you have what you heard Governor Schwarzenegger call the perfect storm. ABC's Brian Rooney is joining us now from Canyon County near Santa Clarita.
Charlie, you're looking at the wreckage of a house here that burned to the ground last night. And obviously you can see the winds that brought fire here are still burning. The winds are still blowing, rather. And over my shoulder, about 5-6 miles away, now we can see a plume, a major plume of smoke from yet another fire that started only about an hour ago. The winds driving these fires have been clocked at times over 100 miles per hour. So dangerous because they whip up the flames, creating blowtorches of sparks that set fire to houses, even cars surrounded by pavement. When people talk about the Santa Ana winds, this is what they're talking about.
The history of Southern California is written in Santa Ana winds every fall and every winter. We've had great fires all over Southern California, going back hundreds of years.
This house is an example of the unusual fire behavior caused by these winds. Last night, fire came out of this canyon across the road, and just as it followed the contour of the ground, it took out this house almost as if it had been hit by a missile. But other houses all around are still standing. Just a freak example of what can happen in the Santa Ana winds. Today, the Santa Anas are driven by a high-pressure system sitting over Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming, causing masses of hot, dry air to flow toward the Pacific.
And today, we'll have temperatures between 90 and 100 degrees. And that is definitely an exceptionally incendiary situation, as we're seeing all over the Southland.
The situation is aggravated when the wind is forced through Southern California's mountain canyons, creating a kind of wind tunnel effect, today between 60 and 100 miles per hour.
This is something we see only once every decade or two, I would say, in terms of its strength.
And occasionally you have to actually lean into it to stay standing up. Charlie, they say these winds are going to keep blowing like this at least through tomorrow.
Brian Rooney reporting tonight from California. The history of Southern California, it was said there, is written in the Santa Ana winds, and more history is being written tonight. Later this evening, Nightline will have late details